I danced at my husband's mistress's baby naming ceremony. I smiled for pictures. I sprayed crisp Naira notes. I ate the party jollof like nothing in my life was wrong. But inside my handbag, wrapped carefully between my powder and perfume, was a gift that would turn joy into ashes before the closing prayer. People love to say, fear women. No, fear a quiet woman who has stopped explaining herself. My name is Morayo Adebiye. I was married to Sola for 7 years. 7 long years of patience. 7 years of praying prayers that left my lips shaking. From the first year the whispers started. Maybe she waited too long, too educated, too proud. Her womb is locked. Sola's mother made it her full-time ministry. She called me a pawn, barren. At family gatherings, she would pat my stomach and sigh loudly like she was mourning something dead. I endured everything. I drank roots that tasted like regret. I bathed with anointing oils that burned my skin. I knelt on cold church floors while pastors shouted into my ears. I fasted until my knees felt weak. Through it all, Sola said, "Be patient. God will answer us." So when he walked into our Lekki apartment one evening, 3 months ago, with a heavily pregnant girl behind him, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even blink. "Mora," he said, adjusting his shoulders like a conquering hero. "Meet Zainab. She's carrying my child, a son." Zainab couldn't have been more than 23. Long lashes, phone glued to her hand, chewing gum like she owned the place. "Since you haven't been able to do your duty as a wife," Sola continued, "Zainab will stay here. She will give me an heir." I looked from his face to her stomach. Nothing moved inside me. "You'll take care of her," he added. "Stress is bad for pregnancy." That night, my friends nearly lost their minds. "Leave him. Expose him. Scatter everything." I only smiled and said, "Relax. This story hasn't reached the climax." From that day, I became invisible. I cooked Zainab's meals. I washed her clothes. When her legs swelled, I massaged them gently. I escorted her to hospital appointments. Sola enjoyed humiliating me. Over drinks with his friends, he would laugh. "Some women are just placeholders," he'd say. "When the real woman arrives, they should step aside." Zainab gave birth 2 weeks ago. A baby boy. Sola lost his mind. He slaughtered a ram, bought matching aso-ebi for the entire compound, invited neighbors he didn't even greet before. They named the child Oluwasegun. God has conquered. The naming ceremony was yesterday. Music loud, food everywhere, laughter spilling into the street. Sola's mother danced like she had won a war. She sang songs about shame and victory, making sure her eyes never left my face. When it was time for gifts, I stood up. Gold earrings, perfect makeup, calm smile. I walked to the high table and collected the microphone. "My husband," I said sweetly. "Congratulations." He beamed. "Thank you, Morayo. You see what perseverance brings?" "I brought a special gift for the baby," I continued. From my bag, I brought out a thick brown envelope. The DJ paused the music. 7 years ago, I said, my voice steady. Before our wedding, we both went for medical tests. Sola was too busy to collect his results. He asked me to do it. Sola shifted in his seat. "Why are you saying this now?" "Because I loved you," I replied. "And I protected your pride." I removed the document. "A medical report," I said calmly, "from a teaching hospital." I raised it so everyone could see. "Azoospermia." Confusion rippled through the crowd. "It means 0 sperm count," I explained. "You had complications from childhood mumps. You have been infertile for years." Silence. I turned slowly to Zainab. Her smile had vanished. "So," I continued softly, "if Sola has 0 sperm, whose baby is this?" Then I faced Kola, Sola's closest friend, seated in the front row. The baby's face, his nose, his chin. "Maybe Kola can explain," I said, "why the child looks exactly like him." All hell broke loose. Sola screamed. Zainab fainted. People shouted. I dropped the microphone. "I moved out yesterday," I said quietly. "The apartment belongs to my family. You all have 2 hours to vacate." I walked away while chaos swallowed the party. I'm currently in a quiet hotel room, eating grilled fish, drinking something cold and unapologetic. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. They say I embarrassed him. They say I went too far. But tell me, did I go too far, or did I simply serve him the breakfast he ordered, extra hot? Would you have chosen the same path, or would you be swayed by different values? Drop a comment below and let us know if you would have done the same.